Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today we're diving into, well, a bit of a shakeup, really. Some significant last-minute changes to a major international squad. This is all happening just ahead of the crucial November test campaign. So our mission is to unpack what's gone on, pretty swiftly give you the full picture, risks, rewards, the lot.
Yeah, we're looking squarely at France and the decisions Fabien Galthie, their head coach, has had to make. It seems the top 14, their domestic league, is already taking its toll. These aren't minor tweaks either, happening right before they face the Springboks, the back-to-back World Cup winners.
Exactly. It's not just changing names on a list, is it? Yeah. It sets up a fascinating, maybe quite high-pressure situation for Les Bleus. We've got roster shuffles, some quite revealing quotes from players, and you have the sudden emergence of an uncapped rookie. And look, if this kind of deep dive, getting right into the detail, these big rugby stories is your thing, please do make sure you hit that subscribe button for Rugby Obsession, wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, let's set the theme properly. The French squad. They are the reigning 2025 Six Nations champions, remember, and they're gearing up for a really demanding three-match November series. Huge stakes, really, trying to cement their place, globally.
And the schedule, well, it's brutal, no easing into it. They kick off against South Africa, that huge rematch with the Springboks, November 8th in Paris. That game alone carries just immense psychological weight after the World Cup quarterfinal. After that, they've got Fiji, then Australia. So 3 tough tests. And the timing, as you said, is unforgiving. Galthie named his initial 42-man squad, October 24th. But almost instantly, within days, those top 14 games forced his hand. He had to make changes. When you're trying to prep for a series like this, losing established players right at the last minute, well, it disrupts everything, doesn't it? Far more than just the matchday squad.
Absolutely. And that disruption, it centers on losing 2 really key figures. One impacting the backline strategy, the other hitting the power up front in the pack. The first one, and maybe tactically the trickiest, is losing Matthieu Jalibert.
Jalibert, yeah. He's such a central figure. Plays for Bordeaux, Champions Cup winner, started at Flyhalf in key games at the 2023 World Cup. Okay, he didn't start much in the Six Nations this year.
Right, only that one start against England.
But his domestic form has been outstanding. He looked absolutely set to properly challenge for that 10 jersey again, maybe partner Nitamac or, provide that top-level competition.
He was definitely coming in hot. You could see that extra zip from his club performances. But that all came crashing down Saturday night. Picked up a thigh injury late in Bordeaux's big win over Bayonne. And apparently, when reporters asked him afterwards about joining the squad, you could just hear the disappointment. He basically said, honestly, I don't have much hope.
Wow. Yeah, that tells you everything, doesn't it? The realization hitting him right there.
Yeah.
And then confirmed the next day. Out completely.
Yeah.
That leaves a massive hole experience-wise at Flyhalf.
It really does. And the second big hit was in the forwards, the engine room. Romain Taofifenua, the second row. He's a key man for racing. Huge presence. But he only lasted, about 32 minutes in his top 14 game before having to go off, immediately ruled out for November. Losing that sort of power and experience in the tight 5 just days before camp, it really changes the forward dynamics.
Right, but here's where it gets, really interesting, I think. When established players go down, it creates gaps, obviously, but also these huge opportunities. And in this case, filling that Jalibert void, we've got an uncapped rookie stepping into the French setup.
That's right. The guy coming in for Jalibert is Ugo Seunes. He's 24, plays for racing as well. I mean, stepping into the shoes of someone like Jalibert, a World Cup starter, that takes some confidence. It's a story of incredibly rapid promotion for him.
Rapid feels like an understatement, looking at his background. Our sources say his path has been almost dizzying. He's basically brand new to the top 14, only moved to racing in Paris from PRO D2 side Aurillac over the summer. Just moving from the second tier to the top flight is a massive adjustment itself.
But he hasn't missed a beat, apparently. Straight into the mix at racing, quickly became their first choice number 10. And it was that form, that ability to handle pressure in games like their recent win over POW that clearly got him the call-up. It definitely shows Galthie's philosophy, doesn't it? Rewarding current high-level form no matter how new you are to that level.
Okay, I get rewarding form, but strategically. Taking someone who was playing PRO D2 a few months ago and potentially throwing him in against the Springboks, doesn't that feel like a massive gamble? What does that say to maybe other more experienced utility backs already in or around the squad?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It is a calculated risk from Galthie, no doubt about it. Look, Seunes lacks the test match miles, obviously, but he brings something fresh, maybe unpredictable. Galthie must see a specific skill set there that he feels they need against South Africa. It shows immense faith in the French system, the coaching structure to sort of insulate him, faith that the structure can absorb that pressure. But yeah, mentally, it's an enormous challenge for Seunes. They must see something really specific they like.
It's a huge leap. PROD2 to potentially facing the best side in the world in just a few weeks.
Yeah.
But that tension, that unpredictability, that's also the exciting part of these squad changes, right? It injects this raw energy, whether Galthie planned it or not. And while we're digging into this massive selection call, just a quick reminder. If you're enjoying this kind of deep dive into French squad strategy, please do subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We're always here breaking down the latest news and, why these moments really matter.
So moving to the other change, the forward replacement. For Taofifenua, it's Baptiste Pesenti coming in.
Yeah.
He plays for Stade Français. Now, he's not uncapped. He has played for France before. But his selection is still significant because it marks a return. He hasn't been capped since way back in July 2024. So you see two different approaches there. A totally new face in the backs and a sort of recalled, experienced hand in the forwards, both forced by injury.
And if we look at the bigger picture now, with these changes made, Galthie's got his updated squad list. What really jumps out is how the squad composition reflects the power structure of French club rugby itself.
Absolutely. You look down the list and you see really heavy representation from certain key clubs. It shows the depth, but also maybe the tactical alignment across the top 14.
Yeah.
Clubs like Toulouse, La Rochelle, they're really dominant in the selection.
Yeah, you can't miss it. The number of Toulouse players, especially in the forwards, you've got, Bertrand, Cramont, Marchand, Alighieri, Flamont, Meifu, Jalanche. It suggests there's a core understanding there already, doesn't it? Which might actually help buffer the loss of key individuals. Those guys play together week in, week out.
Exactly. And La Rochelle, too, heavily represented, especially that back row, Aldrit, Boudhint, Chagou, serious power there. But despite the changes, the star quality is still very high. You've still got Romain Taofifenua from Toulouse, Gaël Ficou from Racing.
Yeah.
The established leaders are there.
Okay, but that raises another question, specifically about Flyhalf. How does bringing in Seunes, the rookie, affect Romain Taofifenua? Minimac's now clearly the senior 10. He might have expected to share the load, or at least have the experienced Jalibert alongside him. Does this force Taofifenua into more of a guiding role? Does he have to sort of shield Seunes?
Oh, absolutely it does. The responsibility on Taofifenua just shot up massively. He instantly becomes the mentor, doesn't he? While also needing to manage his own game against the Springboks. If Seunes ends up on the bench or even starting, Taofifenua has to be the one ensuring tactical control, ensuring continuity. It makes that French backline maybe less predictable for South Africa, but potentially, a bit more volatile for France themselves.
And the stakes for that first game, just immense. We know how bruising, how emotional that opening fixture against the Bucks will be. Our sources even reference that last World Cup game as, the greatest game in a decade that changed laws, led to brutal backlash and questioned nations' hearts. For Seunes to potentially debut in that atmosphere, it's an unbelievable mental hurdle.
It truly is. But ultimately what this signals from Galthie, despite the risk we talked about, it signals his absolute confidence, maybe in his scouting, definitely in his willingness to back current momentum over past reputation or number of caps. And for Seunes himself, this is the dream scenario, isn't it? That sudden chance to prove yourself against the very best, even if it came about through someone else's bad luck.
So summing up, what does it all mean for France's November campaign? Well, they've had to adapt fast. They lose proven quality, test experience with Jalibert and Taofifenua, no question. But they gain, the unpredictable energy of a rookie like Seunes, who's clearly in red-hot form, plus the known quantity of a returning test player in Pesenti. It definitely shifts the dynamic, puts more pressure on leaders like Taofifenua, Ficou, Aldrit.
Yeah, and the massive question hanging over it all is, can Ugo Seunes handle it? Can he make that transition from PROD2 just months ago to facing down the Springboks in potentially the most high-pressure rematch imaginable? His performance, whether he plays a minute or 80, that could really set the tone for France's entire November.
We'd genuinely love to know what you think about all this. Who are you excited to see step up now for France? Was Galthie right, backing the uncapped rookie Seunes against that opposition? Let us know your thoughts in the comments or wherever you engage with Rugby Obsession. And yes, just one last reminder, please do make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss our next deep dive into the biggest stories shaking up the rugby world. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.